Okay, welcome to the TitanBoost tutorial. This is the author Urban Chaos 2.0, and I'm going to be explaining to you how to use this tool, how to get started, etc. This is the first video, so we're not going to cover the deeper things right now, just the basics, just to get you started, because I know a lot of people don't quite know what to do with all these settings. Don't worry, we won't touch any of these yet. These flashing tabs, these are tabs that have settings enabled. When you install TitanBoost into your game folder, you'll see these tabs with some settings enabled, all right? You can then customize further, but in case you just want to get started, you're not sure what to touch yet, that's what this video is for, to teach you how to get started. Right, cool. So what is TitanBoost? TitanBoost is a real-time game engine optimizer. So what this will do is in real time optimize the manner in which the game runs, right? Optimize memory, optimize engine threads, and a host of other things in real time to get the best performance from your system. Okay, this is the first and only tool of its kind. There is no other tool like this. So first thing you're going to do after installing TitanBoost into the root folder of your game is you enter the folder, and then you open the configurator called configure TitanBoost. That's this thing over here. You will then leave this enabled. Okay, you will then specify the exe name. That's the exe that you usually run. That's the game itself. Okay, so in this case we've installed TitanBoost into the game folder of Directive 8020. That's by those guys at Supermassive Games. Okay, so you specify that here. Once you do that, TitanBoost will show you the exe. Cool, and then pretty much that's it. Save all settings, and TitanBoost will then generate a launcher called Launch with TitanBoost, and that's what you will use to launch the game with these optimizations here. Okay, now for most games that's it. After that, you just specify this. You then go here and you can adjust a couple things, save all settings, it'll generate the launcher, and you run the game through the launcher. But some games don't just have the regular game executable, they have a launcher and then the executable itself, right? For example, for The Last of Us Part 2, if we had installed this into the Last of Us Part 2 folder, we would specify the launcher. That's what we usually use to run the game. So we would specify its launcher, which is launcher.exe. There it is. TitanBoost will show it to you, and then this has to then be deselected. Okay, TitanBoost should be told to automatically find the process name when you just have one exe that you know you're running. But in some cases where you have a separate launcher and then the exe, you should deselect this and specify the process name manually. Now, in most cases, the process name is going to be the exact same as the exe name, but sometimes it's not the same, which is why I say I always recommend leaving this on automatic unless you have a situation like this where there's a separate launcher. Then you will need to specify the process name yourself. To find the process name of any game, just open Task Manager while the game is running, and then go to the details section, and you'll see the process name. In this case, the process name happens to be the exact same as the exe, right? Which in this case is TLOU-II. That's the process name of The Last of Us Part 2. Alright, so then you save all settings, it'll generate the launcher, like this. See, generating game launcher, please wait. And then that launcher is what you'll use to run the game with these optimizations. Okay, cool. Now, one last thing, let me just say this. You see, not here, no, here. Right here you have the basic boost options. Okay, this I'll cover in a bit more detail in a later video, but for now let me just say this because it's kind of important. Most games love this right here, the continuous boosts. So for most games, once you've enabled these boosters, keep the continuous boost on. But there are some games, a few games, that don't prefer a continuous boost, and for that we're going to work around that. For example, the game Kern. Let's say we've installed TitanBoost. We can just erase this because it's a different game. Let's say we've installed TitanBoost into the folder of the game Kern, right? Wait, it's N Kern. You see, Kern, great. Kern exe. What we'll then do is we'll say automatic, right? Allow TitanBoost to automatically find the process name. Then we'll go here, because Kern is one of those games that does not like a continuous boost, right? Another one was Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Okay, but most other games you should always enable continuous boost. You'll get the best performance. Okay, how can you tell if a game doesn't like continuous boost? Well, you'll see it'll stutter for like 1 second at a time, or even 2 seconds at a time. It can do that. That's how you know, no, the continuous boost is a bit too much for that engine to handle. So what we'll do is, in this case, we will prime the game engine with a boost limit. Okay, so we can specify a boost limit of 5 instead of a continuous boost. We deselect that and specify a boost limit of 5, and Kern will be very happy with that. Okay, so that's it for this video. In my next video, we will be discussing memory. I'll discuss the third boosters in more detail in a later video, because it can be quite involved. There can be, quite a bit to do there if you want to optimize. But you don't have to touch any of this. This is just for power users. We will discuss that kind of stuff in a later video. Okay, that's it for now. Cheers.